Hey guys, this is Mr. Dufour here. I decided to have my daughters, Makenna and Maddie, read with you guys. Makenna is a third grader, Maddie is a first grader, and they're looking forward to reading these outer space passages with you. We'll begin with Makenna, my third grader, The Ride Stuff. Please begin, Mac.
The Ride Stuff. One small step for a woman, one giant leap for womankind. Astronaut Sally Ride became the first American woman to voyage or travel to space. She made the journey on June 8, 1983. WR News student reporter Leah Meador talked with Ride about her starring role in NASA's history. Sally Ride checks in with the NASA from Space Shuttle in 1983.
Which is the caption. Keep going, Matt.
Leah Meador, how did you feel when you were going into space? Sally Ride, I was unbelievably excited. There is no amusement park ride even close to this experience of flying into space. LM, what inspired you to become an astronaut? Sally Ride, I was always interested in science from the time that I was in second or third grade. Science was always my favorite subject. Leah Meador, what did it mean to you to be our first U.S. woman to go into space? Sally Ride, it meant a lot to me to be a role model for young girls who wanted to be astronauts. Leah Meador, who is the person that supported you the most while you were trying to become an astronaut? Sally Ride, my high school science teacher. She was a good teacher, but what was really important to me is that she helped me build my confidence. She helped me believe in myself.
Good job, Mac. All right, Maddie, so now we'd like you to read the passage, A Final Journey. Please go ahead and begin.
A Final Journey, an even better Hubble. In 2009, the famous telescope was made more powerful for the last time.
Please begin.
The Hubble Space Telescope is high above Earth. It is a telescope in space. Hubble takes photos of planets, stars, other space objects. The Hubble Space Telescope makes a full orbit. Every 97 minutes, if a car could move that fast, it would go from New York to California in less than 10 minutes. Hubble has been in space since 1990. After its launch, there have been a few services missions to Hubble. Astronauts read repairs, updated parts, or added parts during each successful service mission. The last service mission was completed in 2009. In that service mission, a huge camera was added because of the camera. Hubble has been able to see deeper into space.
Great job, Maddie. Hey, so this is one of the things that I've talked to some of my emerging readers, my first grade readers and second grade readers. Whenever you see a period, that is a time for you to take a breath and pause. So, Maddie, if you don't mind, on this next paragraph, when you see a period, just take a slow little breath. Don't rush through to the next sentence. Go ahead and begin. This last mission to Hubble was the most difficult, says scientist Ken Carpenter. Try that again.
This last mission to Hubble was the most difficult, says scientist Ken Carpenter. It was a success because of the hard work the astronauts in space and workers in the ground. Now Hubble is the best it's ever been.
Good. So one of the things I still saw you do is even when that period occurred after ground, you went right to now Hubble's the best it's ever been. Really try. Just take a breath. Breathe. So the caption in this photograph is astronaut John Grunsville made repairs to the Hubble Space Telescope. So captions, Maddie, are really important because they tell about the photograph. So if you were to look at this photograph and be like, what is this? By reading the caption, it tells you what is photographed. Go ahead and try to read these next two multiple sentences. And remember, every time you see a period, just take a breath.
How does Hubble take so many great photos? It has a great view. It is not 350 miles.
It is in orbit 350 miles
above Earth.
Good.
An orbit is a path that a space object travels around another space object.
Continue.
The repairs to Hubble in 2009,
We're the last.
The Hubble will be replaced in the James Webb Space Telescope as early as 2018.
Awesome. Hey, Maddie, so I'm going to go ahead and read this next passage. And girls, you're welcome to follow along with me. The title of this passage is The Ever-Changing Sky. Look up at the sky on a clear day. You will see the sun. It is bright and shiny, warming much of what its light touches. Again, at night, you may see the stars. They are also bright and shiny, glimmering in the dark sky. You may also see the moon. It looks bright and shiny, reflecting light from the sun. People have always looked up at the sky with wonder. Some have even studied the sun, moon, and stars. These people, called astronomers, have learned that those objects in the sky do not stay in the same place all the time. The Earth revolves around the sun and also rotates on its axis, which is an imaginary line that runs from the North Pole to the South Pole through the Earth's center. It takes just under 24 hours for the Earth to complete one rotation on its axis. A day, that's right. And guess how long it takes the Earth to revolve around the sun? A little over 365 days. That's a year with an extra quarter of a day. Let's take a closer look at the moon. The Earth does not revolve around the moon. Instead, the moon revolves around the Earth. It takes the moon about 4 weeks to complete a revolution around the Earth. The portion of the moon we, here on Earth, see changes over this period of about 4 weeks as the moon's position on the Earth changes. The moonlight we see at night is the moon's reflection of sunlight onto Earth. Great job following along. The different ways the moon appears to us are known as the moon's phases. The moon's phases depend on the moon's position in relation to the Earth and the sun. The 4-week period starts and ends with the new moon. The new moon cannot be seen because the side of the moon lit by the sun is facing away from the Earth. This is because the moon is nearly between the sun and the Earth at this time. After that comes the first quarter moon, which is when we see half of the sides of the moon lit by the sun. Remember, eyes on those words, track those words as we're reading. Then comes the full moon, when we can see the entire side of the moon lit up by the sun. This is because the Earth is nearly lined up between the sun and the moon, and the sunlit part of the moon is facing the Earth. One of the last phases is called the last quarter moon. This is when we see the other half of the lit side of the moon. So I know that was pretty challenging, but remember, 4 weeks, this moon goes through multiple phases. Sometimes the way the sun, moon, and Earth are positioned causes an event known as an eclipse. There are 2 types of eclipses. A lunar eclipse happens when the Earth passes between the moon and the sun, and when the Earth blocks the moon from the sun. The Earth's shadow may block the entire moon or just part of the moon from view. A solar eclipse happens when the moon passes directly between the Earth and the sun. A solar eclipse can block part of the sun or the entire sun from the Earth's view. Girls, you're doing a great job following. Because of the regular orbit of the moon around the Earth and the regular orbit of the Earth around the sun, astronomers can predict when an eclipse will happen every many years into the future. So I know that was a hard passage. As my first grader was following along, she lost a little focus, and that's going to happen from time to time. Once again, thank you for allowing my 2 kiddos to share with you and read with you. Maddie, Mac, say bye, room 39.
Bye, room 39.
Great job, guys.